Hi Shubham to this video podcast, and please we can begin by your introduction.
Definitely. Hi, Devidata. So, my name is Shubham, and I'm currently working at Just Dial as a product manager. I'm looking after its mobile website platform, where I look after its growth part, its retention part, its engagement part, how users come on the platform. I will make sure when a user comes on the platform, they will do the job for what they come on the platform. By job means when whatever, let's say they are looking for a carpenter. So I work at Just Dial. So it's a local service search provider. So let's say if I'm searching for carpenter, then I will make sure the user will hit on the click on call button. They will use that service. So that is what I look after, and the product growth life cycle key, how we are going to what we are going to build in the next release, its overall sprint journey. So this is currently what I look after Just Dial. I started, if to be honest, I don't know about product management initially. I started out as a product designer. Then from product design, I learned about, like, first I know about UX design, then UX design to product design. Then from product design, I got to know about product management. So this is how it all happens, and now I'm currently at Just Dial. So
Okay, that gives me a brief idea about your journey. So, Shubham, can you broadly
yeah.
describe what product management is according to you, and some key matrices in your industry, how you look at the future of product management, etc.?
So if you would ask product managers about definition of product management, everyone would definitely say something else. So everyone would have different definition, but if I would have to say in like simple keywords, then I would define it in three things, like shape the product. I have read it somewhere also, so I'm just putting it also along with my thoughts and learning. It's about the shape the product. It's about shipping the product and syncing the people. When I say shape the product, it's about what is your goal, what goal you're trying to achieve in this quarter, what is your vision, what is your strategy, how you're going to build, what is the roadmap for you, or how you build the roadmap. So it's about shaping the product. And when I say shipping the product, it includes all of your execution stuff. It includes how you talk with the users on user calls, how you communicate with your engineers, designers, how fast you ship, how well you're communicating your ideas with designers, with stakeholders. So it's about shipping the product. And the final part comes is the syncing the people. So what I believe is PM is like a glue between business and the users. So at one side, we want to make sure both are attached. If users are not happy, then product is not going to make revenue.
Right.
Even if users are happy and product is not making business is not making revenue, then it's also not benefit for the company. So we want to make sure ki whatever needs of the users, we should align it us in a way ki it will help business making profitable. So this is all about like shaping the product, shipping the product, and syncing the people. You should make sure uh, everyone in your team is aligned. Like sometimes what happens, I've seen ki designers got to know, or engineers got to know about we are building this feature after a month, while we have discussed the same thing with the designers, so maybe stakeholders. So everyone should be aligned on the same page at every page. So this is how I like broadly defined product management. Now, when you asked about the key metrics in my industry, so I would define it in two parts. One would be the general industry metrics that would apply in most of the companies, and the second one is applied to my product. So when I say general metrics, it is for us, it is daily active users, which is common for everyone. It is retention, how many people are coming in a week, how many people are coming in a day, month, quarterly, and average engagement time spent on the platform. So these are the basic metrics that we look at. Bounce rate, CTR, like let's say for a CTR means click through rate. So if user comes on a results page you can consider. So when you search for carpenters, there are a list of carpenters come, and if you click on that listing, then you go to details page. Then what is the CTR of that page?
Right.
Those are the journal metrics that we after. And then comes the our metrics for the product. So what are the major things for our North Star metric would be like a number of calls made in a day. So if 100 users comes on a platform, then at least 50-60 users should make a call. But I'm just
Right.
giving a
Right.
random number.
Right.
So
Right.
this is number of calls made in a day, and number of calls made to paid vendor who have paid us money.
Yes.
And the second thing is number of leads we are generating daily. So leads could be, so let's say if you're so against a contract, there would be call now, get best deal, send inquiry, all this stuff. So how many people are filling those forms? So number of leads we are generating every day. So these are the general, not general, the metrics that we look as a product in Just Dial.
So that gives me my answer. So, Shubham, according to you, I think there might be some bias here, but what traits help become a successful product management? Is it a designing mindset, or is it a technical mindset, or marketing mindset? What sort of you think traits or mindset helps?
So I would say everything you should know. I try to give example for each of one. Matlab, you need everything. So I'm from design background. I understand design perfectly. So could be two types of PMs. One PM would give requirement to design like, I need this model, I need this CT, just place it and give it to me. Then there are second type of PMs. They would say, let's brainstorm together. There is the problem. Now we will find a solution. So to become that second type of PM, you need to know the UX principles. If you know the UX principles, you can have a say when designers are saying something. So to having a design mindset is most important, because when you build a product for users, what matters most is how easy is the journey, and that you can achieve with the help of better UX. So design mindset is, I believe, is very important for being a PM. Then comes you said technical mindset. So definitely. So let's say you're building a feature, your engineering manager said, Ki, this will take 2 weeks, or this is how we are going to build stuff. If you don't know anything about technical terms, then you would be like, okay, you can't have any say in that process. But if you know something, you understand APIs, you understand how data will flow, how data will store from here to this, from backend to front end, then front end to data storage, how that will flow, then it would give you some confidence to speak with engineers. When they say something, you would know what they are saying. So technical mindset is important.
Right.
And then you talk about marketing mindset. So it's also important. I would give one example for that. So we at Justdial, we were building the events page. So in that events page, what would happen? Whatever the events are happening in India, we will try to show on the contract details pages of those contracts. So let's, there is a ABC contract and there is a XYZ event is happening. So we will show that event in that contract. So that requirement came from us from the content team. So I get the requirement, I work on it, I worked on how I want to show, I worked with designers, I worked with engineers. So I delivered the product, I shipped the product. Then I talked to my manager, it's done. Then she explained and told ki, this is just the starting of the product. You have to achieve the adoption of it. So you need to know the marketing terms, you need to know the what things you should put in URLs to gain those SEO. So you need to know what users are searching on the SEO Google. So you need to know those terms that you put in your URLs, in your text, because you are the one who is going to bring the adoption. No one else. There is obviously content marketing, there is digital marketing team, but you should know these terms, because then you can work with them. If you don't know, then they would do their own stuff. So knowing all these things is very crucial as a PM. Design is crucial. Technical mindset, business mindset, marketing mindset, everything is important, I believe. But it depends. Again, at junior level you need something, and then when you grow into ladder, then you might not focus maybe on the analysis part, because now that would be done by your juniors. Now you focus on what problem you're going to solve, those kind of things.
Okay. So Shubham, can you just give some more details about your journey after your education? What did you do, and how did you end up here?
Sure. So as I told, I started out as a product designer. So I didn't do MBA first thing. I'm a BTech graduate. So in my first year of engineering, when I was in BTech college, so most of my seniors told ki, like, you need to do coding to get the job, to get the placement. So I was like, yeah, okay, because we are engineering, I don't know about product management. I even don't know about the design at that time. So I learned about data structures, web development, but that does give me goosebumps. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm solving a problem or I'm making an impact. Then I was, if you've heard about website Geeks for Geeks. So
Yes,
I was reading an article over there about, UX design. So
yes.
from there, I learned about what are the UX principles, how UX design actually, because they had given certain examples that will really make me think how it is actually solving a problem. Then I learned all about UX design, its principles. Then I moved to product design. I learned about Figma, all these tools. So I tried to switch into the product design. I did multiple internships. When I was working at InterviewBit, one of my past company as an intern, I worked with product managers. I was always like, I designed the product, but I want to know why we are doing it. Someone came from senior stakeholders, we want to build this. We were like, okay, as a designer, I'm saying, we were like, okay, we will build this, we will do this, but we don't know the why we are doing this. And I was always like, if I'm building a page, then how many people are scrolling down the product, how many people are clicking on the CTA. So I would always have that mindset. When I deep down more into that, then I got to know about product management. So when I was in InterviewBit, I learned about product management, and then I left that company, then moved to product management. Then I interned at PowerPlay, it's a B2B SaaS company. So from there, I learned a lot of things. It was a startup, and then finally moved here to Justdial. So it's movement from engineering to design. UX design helps me learn about product management, and from product design then to product management, because I believe product design and product management are very similar to each other. In product management, what extra comes is why, data part, analysis part, stakeholder management. These things come. So that's how like I ended up in product management.
Shubham, let's say you are this
Uh,
PM2 and you're pretty confident about a feature addition that, let's say, will make your product more successful in some way, and you have some pilot project or some data to back it up. But the
uh,
business side is, let's say, it is divided and they have some other vision down the lane or
mhm,
something. So beyond data, how
mhm.
do you convince the stakeholders beyond data?
Okay. Okay. So definitely data is one of the important things. If you have the data, you can show key what is the impact I'm going to bring. But now you said you already have the data, but stakeholders or senior people saying, or sales team, whatever is saying, "Ki we want to build this feature." So what I will do is I will plot it on the basis of impact versus effort. So let's say my feature is impact wise, it will, just example, it will increase the revenue by 1.5x, but the effort is of like 1 month, but the sales team is like increase the revenue by 1.2x, but the effort is 6 months. So I will try to convince ki I will discuss the same thing with the stakeholders, and then I will understand ki I will make sure ki engineers are there and other stakeholders and other people are there, so they can tell ki what is the effort impact. We know effort to engineers will tell, designers will tell. So I will make sure ki everyone is in the same room and will understand what is the effort and what is the impact. If the impact is more and effort is less, I will definitely prioritize that, and I can convince stakeholders on the basis of that, because if in a short span of time I can bring more revenue, that will help the company. Or revenue is just a small is just another thing. You can focus on the North Star metric. So let's say if my North Star metric is on the number of calls made, my feature is helping increasing the number of calls made, then I would go in that part, because that is more impactful and less effort. So that's how I will like try to convince. And then second, if still that not work, I might try to put my thing on small AB experiment. So we will finish it in a 1 week and can show the impact. Once the impact is clear, then we push it to the large number of audience. So it's it work like it could be work like that.
So, Shubham, can you
Mm.
describe your product in any way, and can you tell what, according to you, makes a product successful or unsuccessful? Let's say the market it serves broadly. Can you describe the product
In the market,
it serves?
sorry,
Which gap does it
it's
fill? Your product, yeah.
got it. So Just Dial, it's a local search engine. So
Yes.
so you search for Chabi wala, key maker,
Yeah.
duplicate key maker on Google. You won't find any contracts maybe near your locality. Let's say you are living in Mangla in Bangalore. You will get contracts for Bangalore, but you don't get contracts for Mangla near your area. But
Mhm.
Just Dial link will come on the top of the SEO that will give you contracts that in your area. So that's how it solves the people. It is our algo works in a way key it will show the top contracts in your area around you. So this is how it will serve the people. So I have seen people talking about in different groups key how Just Dial have helped them multiple times. So someone was talking about they need a projector during cricket match, and they posted in the group from where I can get the projector. Like I was just the part of the conversation. I was just seeing the conversation. Other people put key from Just Dial you can get the projector. So this is the impact that it will bring, because certain things are there that is not provided by the Google, but it is there with the local search engine. So that's how it is making an impact and how it serves the users. And another question you have asked in that also,
Yeah.
what
Product profiling. How do you define a product success and
is yeah.
yeah, how do you profile a product?
Got it. So for me, see, in very simple terms, if it is loved by the users and it is making profit, then your product is successful. You need nothing. If your users are happy, if users are doing mouth marketing for your product. So one example was like Figma. Figma came out like so as a designer, there was one other tool, Adobe XD. I used it initially. I was using it. Then my friends told about Figma. I never knew about Figma. Neither their sales team reach out to me, neither their any person reach out to me, but I started using Figma. Why I started using Figma? Because the word of mouth of marketing. So people tell me "Okay, it's very good, it's very collaborative." So that's how when users are happy, you can say your product is successful. You don't need it will grow on its own. It's like product led growth. Users will make sure ki your users only will bring new users. So if your users are happy and if a business is profitable, even if not profitable in a on the words of making profit, then the product is successful. Like you have launched a successful product.
So I get some idea about that. So Shubham, can you just describe a day in your work and how your responsibilities have shifted from, let's say, when you were product manager to
Mm.
PM2 or something like that? Can you just share how things have changed?
So so every day like feels like different. Definitely for every PM, it would be every day would be different. someday you would be doing a root cause analysis for one of the features. Someday you would be seeing the numbers are dipping, so your whole day would be in the finding the root cause, why the numbers have dipped. You will go deeper and deeper. So first funnel you will look, then second funnel, then third funnel. So every day would be different. Someday you would be in the whole day would be in the meeting. Someday you would be in just in discussion with the engineers. Someday you would focusing on the roadmap. If I would have to keep it in journal or simple, I will try to describe my day as like when I reach to office, the very first thing I do is I look at all the metrics. So the basic metrics that I told you, initial number of calls made, DAU, CTR, how many people are logging daily. So these metrics, I first look at it initially. If I see any dip, major dip, so there is a benchmark. So if I, let's say, if the visits, so we always look numbers with respect to visits. It's not, let's say, if your logins are dipped by 10%, but your searches are also dipped by 10%, then it's okay because your users have come less on the platform, so there are less logins. So we always look metrics with respect to some bench with some visits, or maybe some with respect to something searches. So first I look at those numbers. Then if there is a dip, then I will try to find the root cause. If not, then the second thing I will do is I will look at the tickets that are near, that are assigned to me, or maybe any blockers for my engineers and designers. So it could be a case engineer would say I need a Zeppelin link for this thing. I don't need to have Zeppelin link. So I talk with engineers what is blocking and where are we on the next things that I have already shared with them. So first half goes in like that, and sometimes we do stand-ups, and sometimes we have a stand-ups with my manager and the team in the first half only. And I try to use my second half for all the meetings. I don't use my first half for the meetings because it is a time where you are more productive, you can think more. And then second half would go in some part of meetings, and then again checking on and unblocking the engineers. So that's how second half goes. And so see, this is just one part. One day it could be like you are preparing for the roadmap, what feature you should build in the next release, what problem should I solve. And someday it will go like you are talking with the users for like continuously 2 to 3 hours. So
Right.
it varies day by day. So someday you're completely busy talking with the users, doing the analysis. So yeah, this is the general typical day. And another question you ask, how
Yeah.
your responsibilities and how you reach from like PM to PM2.
Yeah.
So responsibilities, I would say it won't change much. It's just the more ownership. So the transition from PM to why it happens is I feel it's because of the ownership I take. It's because of the execution. It's because of the better communication. It's because of the ideas I bring to the table. So
Right.
that's how the changes happen from PM to PM2. But with when I see responsibilities, it's now more of the ownership and how better I can manage the stakes. So no metric changes for me. I still look at the same product. I still look at the same things, but ownership is bigger. It's on a larger stage. I sometimes directly talk with my skip level managers and execute the stuff. So that's how currently no major changes I would say in the product, because product is still the same, but it's more ownership. I look after the bigger part of the product.
Right. So Shubham, one doubt I had, let's say Just Dial is mostly a B2C product where, so when you're talking about users, who are the users? Like,
Yeah,
because there are millions of users. So,
true,
yeah.
true, true. So yeah. So for us, we really don't have a ideal persona for a user, because a user could be a tech savvy person, a non-tech savvy person, novice person. It could be a 18-year-old boy. It could be a 32 years uncle. It could be 50 years uncle aunt who is searching for something for the granddaughter something. So users are not very defined for us. They come from different backgrounds. They come from remote cities. They come from tech cities, because it's in all over India. It's not like it's in Bangalore only. If it would be in Bangalore, then obviously all people will be considered tech savvy. These are the kind of user personas we build for. But it is built for all people. We don't have a profiling for users as such, but
Right.
how we define the product for the user. Let's say we want to do some experimentation, then we try to do it on the basis of certain uh, areas and certain categories. So user profiling is not there as such. And you asked also about, I guess, user research, how we go
Yeah,
about
like
user research.
qualitative anything.
Qualitative.
How does that, yeah.
So qualitative research, how we perform is, so we will first identify why we want to connect with users. So let's say, I would give one example. So let's say for a certain category, so let's say packers and movers in Delhi, uh, general packers and movers category, if 100 users come, 80 calls are being made. But in Delhi, only 40 calls are made. Then I will pick those segment from Delhi for packers and movers category. And I will call all these users one by one. So our users are not tech savvy. I can't circulate a Google form and ask them to fill this and give me the feedback. They will never do that. The only thing I need to do is here is I get the data from the data team and pick the phone and call them directly. Most of the times, what happens is users even don't know they use the platform just right because they search for packers and movers on Google. A link came on top because of the good SEO. It always
Yeah.
come on the top, and users click on it, and the site is fast. It just loads too fast, so user will think it's Google only. So they don't even know the brand just dial is there, and they get the number from there. So it's very hard to convert to get in a conversation with the users. If I would call 100 users, I would get insights from hardly 10 to 15 users because most of the users either say I don't know just I don't remember I use this product or service. So one-on-one call is the something which helped me. So
Right.
qualitative research is actually helpful that sometimes data can't give you. So I will give you one example. So I was telling you, so let's say if you're searching for carpenters, there are multiple listings comes and there's call button get best deal. So if I would ask you what is the meaning of get best deal as a user, you would be confused key. I don't know what will happen if I click on get best deal. Would I get price quotes or would the sellers call me? What will happen? So we know users are clicking less on the get best deal, but we don't know why. The data tells us that users are clicking less. If 100 users come, only 2 users are converting into lead. That data tells us. But when we do one-to-one calls, then only we get to know the why. So when we do the calls, we understand user don't know what is the meaning of get best deal. So what we do is we introduce a banner that tells what will happen when you click on get best deal. We educate the user. So let's say if you're clicking on get best deal, you will be contacted by the some top rated sellers who will compete with themselves internally with the pricing and give the best price to you. So after implementing that, we see there is a increase in conversion. So that's how qualitative research sometimes help you telling the why of the part, but the data will tells you what thing is going wrong, and both goes hand in hand. So one more example, if I would give, so there was, when you click on call button, you go to the dialer and you actually connect with the vendor. So there are two steps. One is clicking on the call button, and the second thing is when you dial the vendor. So we have seen suddenly our call clicks were increasing, but the people who are connecting with the vendors is decreasing.
Right.
So we don't know why this is happening, why users clicking multiple times. So we got to know from when we look at the unique call clicks key. One is we are looking at total call clicks, and then when we are looking at unique call clicks. So when we looked at unique call clicks, we are seeing ki a single user clicking 100 times on the same button, and still not calling the vendor, matlab still not able to connect with the vendor. So that data tells us ki there is the issue, but we don't know why he's doing that. So we called that user. He sent us a video. He was using a browser of Google where it's in Safari in iPhone. So this was an issue in iPhone where Google has launched some update in their app. So for not only Justdial, for any website, they have blocked external redirection. So when you click on call button, nothing will happen. So there are around 80 to 90,000 users who are using Justdial website on Google app. And because of certain release from Google, everything is impacted. So we don't know why this happened. When we call the user, then only we got to know this is the issue. We can't still fix it because it's a release from Google, and every website, even if you go Zomato or any website, external redirections is blocked from that browser. Maybe they have worked on it and might have fixed now. So that's how both quantitative data and qualitative data go hand in hand, and one will tell you why and one will tell you what is the wrong thing happening here.
Right. So, Shubham, one more thing which I wanted to know from you. If someone wants to get into this space, would you advise them to join an nascent startup?
If you're young, definitely yes. Because what I feel is on startup, everything is on fire. Uh, uh, your product is on fire, revenue is on fire, your investors are telling you to get that piece of profit for you. So everything is on fire. So you will learn a lot of things. You will go into design. You will sometimes you will do design yourself and give it to engineers. You don't need designer there. As a PM, you will do marketing, you will do SEO stuff, you will obviously do product management. So when you're in startup, you do and learn a lot of stuff. But when you grow, when you join MNC, it's slow paced. It's not, the projects are defined for a long term, 1 year, maybe 6 months, 2 years. So at young age, I would recommend anyone to go for a startup. Definitely yes. But as you grow in ladder, then maybe you get better mentors at MNCs. Then you will learn more from those. And there is I would say, work-life balance there, and in startup you are learning. So at young age you should put yourself like in the fire. You just do all the work and get the shit done. That's a simple thing. But as you grow, then you may try to shift to MNCs, and maybe if you still feel that hunger, then startups the best.
All right, all right. So, one final thing from you, Shubham, advice for any aspiring PMs who are watching this video, what would be your 2 cents?
Yeah. 3 words I would say: be curious, ask a lot of questions. No question is a bad question. and have common sense. So being a good PM is just about common sense. If you have good common sense, if you can communicate well with people, that's it. That's all you need. If you're curious about why this is happening, what will happen, that's it you need as a PM. So be curious, ask questions, communicate well. That's what all you need, and have common sense.
I think it's a very hard thing to have common sense. Common sense is actually uncommon.
True, very true.
Yeah, so Shubham, I got all the answers. I think I holistically covered your whole journey and what you do on a day-to-day basis, and you very lucidly described everything. And thank you for joining this podcast and giving us your insights.
Thank you so much. It was like pleasure talking with you. Yeah.